What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We are diving into Spider-Man Noir 1 today, and let me tell you, it is absolutely insane. This isn't just another Spider-Man story, you guys. This is a hard-boiled, gritty, pulpy detective thriller that just happens to star a Spider-Man who isn't afraid to pack some heat. This issue isn't just about punching some bad guys on the docks. It's a massive piece of the puzzle for understanding this specific corner of the multiverse and this darker, more cynical version of our hero. And trust me, the final page of this book completely flips the entire story on its head. You haven't even heard the wildest part yet. Alright, so the issue kicks off in 1939, and it immediately sets the tone. We find our guy, this world's Peter Parker, in full Spider-Man gear, and his inner monologue is just bleak. He's basically saying that being a superhero is a raw deal. He's just come back from some cross-dimensional shenanigans, which you know we love, but it's cost him everything: his PI office, his peace of mind, and even his Mary Jane. The year has barely started and it's already garbage for him. We're immediately thrown into a massive gunfight down at the docks with a group called the Scorpion Gang. And this is not your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, folks. He is straight up returning fire. He's got his revolvers out and he's in the thick of it, quipping to himself about how Aunt May wouldn't approve, but some guys you just can't stop without putting a few holes in them. The action is brutal and fast-paced, really establishing that this universe plays for keeps. After the initial shootout, he's left with a bunch of goons armed with hammers and pipes. They think they have him outnumbered, but this Spider-Man has a psychological edge. He's not just cracking jokes, his words are cynical and sharp, getting under their skin by talking about how disappointed their mothers would be. It's here we get that classic, iconic line, "With great power comes great responsibility." But coming from him, it feels heavier, more like a curse than a mantra. The fight that follows is described as a dance in the darkness, and that's the perfect way to put it. He's flipping between bullets, taking guys down with this cold, efficient brutality. But it's not all smooth sailing. One of the thugs gets the drop on him and just demolishes him with a huge wooden crate. Scrack! The sound effect says it all. He's down, the thugs are celebrating, but he gets back up, completely unfazed, and asks if anyone lost a wallet. The sheer audacity is incredible. He turns the tables on them, breaks out of their trap with this hilarious line about being impervious to plaid, and then proceeds to systematically take every single one of them apart, ending the fight by giving the last guy a taste of his own medicine with another giant crate. It's a total beatdown. And just to add a little cherry on top, he webs up the runners with a single thwip, as a group of kids watch in awe from behind a fence. By the time the cops show up, he's gone, leaving a neat little package for them and becoming a new urban legend for the kids. This entire opening sequence is just a masterclass in establishing character and tone. So, being a badass vigilante doesn't pay the rent, and the story slams us right back down to earth. We're in Peter Parker's dilapidated private investigator's office, and he looks like he's been through a war, which, I mean, he has. His landlady is there, and she is not playing games. She wants her money, and Peter's promises of a big payday coming soon are falling on deaf ears. He's broke, beaten down, and on the verge of being thrown out on the street. It's a classic PI trope, and it works so well here, grounding him in this harsh reality. But just as he hits his lowest point, the door opens and in walks the classic femme fatale, an elegant, mysterious blonde woman who introduces herself as Gwendolyn Stacy. The whole dynamic shifts. She's not here for small talk, she gets straight to the point. Her father is dead, his body was found in the East River, and she wants Peter to find out who killed him. But here's the twist that really kicks off the mystery. She can't go to the police because she thinks they're the ones responsible. Holy cow! Talk about a tangled web! This sets Peter on the main investigation of the issue. He takes the case, gets a retainer, which immediately goes to his landlady, of course, and his first stop is the city morgue. This is where the conspiracy starts to feel really, really real. He goes to examine the body of Captain George Stacy, and the medical examiner is being incredibly shifty. He gives this vague explanation that Stacy was either shot in the water or was already drowned when he was shot. It makes no sense, and Peter knows it. As he's trying to take photos for evidence, a cop conveniently shows up to throw him out. But Peter Parker isn't one to be told no. He promises he'll be back, and boy does he deliver. He returns later that night as Spider-Man, sneaking back into the morgue because something just doesn't add up. He re-examines the body and finds this tiny little clue that everyone else missed, a mysterious thread tucked behind the captain's ear. But just as he makes the discovery, a flashlight hits him. The police were waiting for him. It was a full-on ambush. The cops draw their guns, and Spider-Man has to fight his way out of the morgue itself, webbing up officers and dodging a hail of bullets. The scene is pure chaos, and as he swings away with police cars chasing him through the streets, his mind is racing with questions. Why are the cops so heavily invested in this? Why was the ME lying? What massive secret was George Stacy involved in that was worth killing him for? This isn't just a murder case anymore. It's a full-blown conspiracy that goes deep into the heart of the city's corruption. The investigation continues at the Stacy residence, with Peter and Gwen searching Captain Stacy's office for clues. The place is clean, almost too clean. Gwen reveals she knew nothing about her father's private life or any potential enemies. It's during this search that Peter, using his detective instincts, finds a hidden mechanism in a bookshelf. Of course, there's a secret safe behind a bookshelf. Classic Noir. Gwen is completely shocked. She had no idea it existed. For Peter, it's just another piece of a puzzle he's determined to solve. The story then gives us a moment to breathe with a really heartwarming but also heartbreaking scene where Peter has Sunday breakfast with his Aunt May. This is a crucial character moment. It shows us the man behind the mask and the immense guilt he carries. May worries about him, tells him he's too thin, and you can just feel the weight of his double life pressing down on him. He loves her so much, but he can't protect her from the worry that his life as Spider-Man causes. It's a beautiful, quiet scene that adds so much depth to his character before we're thrown back into the action. And what action it is! We get this seemingly random side quest at the World's Fair where a Nazi-styled flying villain named Fledermaus steals money from the German pavilion. The villain gives this whole speech about funding the Nazi movement in America before dropping Spider-Man from the sky. But Spidey, being the resourceful guy he is, uses his webs to shred the villain's mechanical wings, sending them both plummeting back to Earth as the stolen money rains down on the cheering crowd. He captures the bad guy, but the scene ends on such a downer note. This perfectly sums up his entire life right now. He saves the day, foils a Nazi plot, and his reward for all that work is a single $5 bill he managed to snag from the falling cash. The cops get the credit, the crowd gets the money, and he gets just enough for a cheap meal. It's a hollow victory that reinforces the cynical, unforgiving nature of his world. And this leads us to the final, jaw-dropping climax. Peter is sitting alone in a diner, using that $5 for a meal, and he has all the case files spread out on the table. He's going over everything one last time, and then it hits him. An epiphany, a horrible, shocking realization. He puts the pieces together. Captain Stacy's lavish lifestyle on a cop's salary, the corrupt police force, the cover-up at the morgue, and then he reads a line in one of the files that changes everything. And this, guys, is where my jaw hit the floor. Wait for it, you are not ready for this. The file reveals George Stacy was the leader of the Scorpion Gang, and his killer was Spider-Man. Boom! The end. To be continued. Are you kidding me? Holy shit, this was awesome. Eric Larson really brings it all on this. I can see why Savage Dragon has suffered so many delays as of late. The writing is just top-tier noir storytelling. It's dark, it's moody, and it has a compelling mystery that keeps you hooked from the first page to that insane final reveal. The artwork is just perfect for this kind of story, with heavy shadows and a gritty texture that makes you feel like you're right there in the rain-soaked streets of 1930s New York. This issue does an incredible job of establishing this version of Peter Parker as a competent, brutal, but ultimately world-weary hero who is just trying to do the right thing in a city that's rotten to the core. This is an absolute must-read for anyone who's a fan of Spider-Man, detective stories, or just fantastic comic book storytelling in general. My rating is 8.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!